Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a woman named Amina. She was born into a poor family in a small village at the edge of the kingdom. Amina's parents passed away when she was very young, and without anyone to care for her, she had to fend for herself. As she grew older, Amina found herself without any skills to earn a living, so she turned to the streets. The people in the village would whisper about her as she walked by. She was called the prostitute because she sold her body to survive. Though Amina was sad and ashamed of her life, she had no other choice. Many nights, she cried herself to sleep, wishing that someday, her life would be different. But Amina had one special gift: she was kind. Despite her difficult life, she always had a smile for everyone and treated even the poorest people with respect. She gave a kind word to every stranger she met, no matter how they treated her. Amina never judged anyone, and her heart was full of love. One day, as Amina was walking through the village market, she saw an old woman sitting by a store, struggling to sell her vegetables. The woman looked tired and hungry, but Amina saw that the vegetables were good, and she knew they would sell well if only someone would buy them. Amina walked up to the woman and offered her a few coins. "I don't have much, but I want to help you," Amina said with a kind smile. The woman looked at Amina with surprise. "You have your own struggles, why would you help me?" she asked. Amina nodded, "Because kindness is free. And even though I have little, I have enough to share." Touched by Amina's selflessness, the old woman smiled and said, "You are a rare soul, my dear. The world may not see your worth, but the stars in the sky know who you are." The next morning, Amina woke up to a strange surprise. A messenger from the king's palace arrived at her door. "The king requests your presence at the palace today." Amina was confused and frightened. She had never been to the palace before and had no idea why the king would want to see her. But she followed the messenger and made her way through the grand gates of the palace. When Amina entered the royal court, the king, who was sitting on his throne, looked at her with curiosity. He was a strong and wise king, loved by his people, but lately, his heart had been troubled. The kingdom was in danger from an enemy who had been invading villages and stealing from the poor. The king needed help, but he could not find anyone he could trust. As Amina entered the room, the king's eyes softened. He could see in her eyes that she was different from the others. She was humble but strong, wise but kind. She held herself with grace despite her humble beginnings. The king spoke, "I have heard of your kindness. You gave the old woman at the market money to help her. Tell me, why would you do such a thing?" Amina hesitated for a moment, then answered softly, "Because kindness is the only thing in this world that cannot be taken away. It is the only thing that remains, even in the darkest times." The king was moved by her words. "You are the first person who has spoken to me with such wisdom. You have the heart of a queen, but you live as one forgotten. I would like to offer you a position in my court. I need someone with your heart and understanding. Will you accept?" Amina was shocked. "But, Your Majesty, I am no one. I am just a poor woman with a troubled past." The king smiled. "Your past does not define you, Amina. It is your heart and your actions that show who you truly are." And so, Amina agreed to serve the king in his court. Over time, her kindness and wisdom began to change the kingdom. She helped the king make decisions that cared for the poor and protected the weak. She taught the people the power of kindness and respect for all, no matter their station in life. Amina's popularity grew, and the people began to call her the Queen of Hearts, for her loving spirit and the way she cared for everyone. But even though she became powerful, Amina never let the title go to her head. She continued to live simply, always helping those in need. One day, the kingdom faced a great danger. An enemy army was approaching, and it seemed there was no way to stop them. The king, overwhelmed with fear, looked to Amina for advice. She said, "We may not have the strength to fight them with weapons, but we have the strength of our hearts. Let us offer peace. Let us meet them not with swords, but with open hands." The king was skeptical, but he trusted Amina and agreed. So, they sent a messenger to the enemy army, offering peace talks. To everyone's surprise, the enemy leader agreed to meet. At the peace talks, Amina spoke with such grace and wisdom that the enemy leader was moved. "I have never met someone like you," he said. "You are a true queen, not because of your title, but because of your spirit." In the end, the enemy leader agreed to leave the kingdom in peace. Amina's wisdom and kindness had saved the kingdom without a single drop of blood being shed. The king, amazed at Amina's strength and heart, decided to crown her as his queen. "You have proven that true power does not come from wealth or birth, but from the heart," he said. And so, Amina, the woman once known as a prostitute, became the queen. But she never forgot her roots. She continued to help the poor and care for her people, leading with love and wisdom. Her story spread far and wide, and people traveled from distant lands to learn from her. Amina's legacy lived on, teaching everyone that no matter where you start in life, it is your kindness, heart, and actions that shape your destiny. Moral lesson. The story of Amina teaches us that our past does not define us. It is our actions, kindness, and the love we show to others that shape who we truly are. No matter how difficult life may seem, there is always hope, and with a good heart, we can change the world around us. Thank you for joining us today and enjoying this beautiful folktale. If you love the story, don't forget to like this video, as it helps us reach more people who enjoy inspiring tales. Share it with your friends and family, and spread the wisdom and magic of this story. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Emmanuel Stories TV so you never miss out on new folktales, legends, and life lessons that can inspire you. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below and tell us what you think of today's story, or share your favorite part. Your comments mean the world to us, and we always love hearing from you. Thank you.